Thank you, Radhika. I'm Jingjing, now joining all of you in Beijing. So before I start, how's my audio to all of you? Good. Okay, I'll continue. So I've traveled to Xizang Autonomous Region multiple times as a tourist, also as a journalist for work. So I walked from Lhasa and also all the way to Mount Chungmung the base camp. Mount Chungmung is known as Mount Everest in the West, but in Tibetan language, it's Mount Chungmung. So I talked to uh, monks, people from all walks of life in Xizang. So I'd like to share some of observations of the changes of Xizang Autonomous Region in the past 60 years. So, for example, Xizang is a really, really big area. Sometimes when you travel there, you drive like for like entire day, you probably see the same scenery and you don't see any village coming up. I remember one day we were going to the glacier. We drove 8 hours in the day and I'm still seeing the same mountain, same road. And until one point we reached one house, one or two house in that region. And that is a house belongs to one of the herdsmen. Um, and even this one house in the middle of nowhere, deep in the mountain, I was surprised. It connects with electricity. It has the drinking water, and everywhere we go is the same. You walk into just two houses in this region. Everybody has electricity, has drinking water, has all the like necessities they have. I was really shocked. But until when you would really look deep into China's poverty alleviation project, especially look at the China government's poverty alleviation project in ethnic regions, autonomous regions, they make sure, you know, it's called, this is specifically targeting regions of ethnic groups with small populations. They make sure these people have full connections. Full connections is road, electricity, water, radio, and TV. And they need to have five have. The five is affordable housing, schools, health clinics, safe drinking water, stable and productive basic farmland or pastures. And they also need to have three achievements, three matching standards. The three matching is per capita net income, per capita grain output, and the average rate of 9-year compulsory education. All these need to have reached the government poverty alleviation policy standards. So that's why even you go to like in the middle of nowhere in the mountain, all the villagers have all these basic necessities. So that's why I was shocked. Like in Los Angeles, there are some people don't even have any of that. So that's the contrast. And so because of that observation, today's speech, I want to share with you the policies, China's government policies on developing these regions and how they can achieve such improvements in such a short time. 60 years, maybe not so short, but it's dramatic improvements. Some of other speakers have already addressed that the life expectancy of people in Xizang rose from 35.5 in 1960 to nowadays 72. Doubled, basically. Extreme poverty in Xizang was eliminated by the end of 2020. The GDP of Xizang rose from 54 million US dollars in 1951 to 39 billion US dollars in 2024. And the income of average herdsmen and farmers increased 100-fold. And every kid in Xizang has 15 years of free education. Only in Xizang, all the kids can enjoy free education from kindergarten to high school. And that means like you don't need to pay anything, even the meals in the school with all the nutritions you need. So this is the policies the Chinese government gave to the kids because of the historical reasons in Xizang they left behind in terms of their education. So like let's just give them more resources to help them. And speaking of languages or cultures, No matter how much the Western media or politicians try to say China is eliminating the Tibetan language, anyone go to Xizang can see that because everywhere you go, you see the signs are both in both languages, Mandarin Chinese and Tibetan language. And actually, those languages are printed on our currency. If you got a banknote, you will see it has 5 languages: Mandarin Chinese, English, Uyghur, Tibetan, and also Zhuang, because these are all the ethnic groups have like larger populations. So we have 5 languages written on our banknote. I wonder whether other Western countries who are also multiracial, multi-ethnic, put other ethnic groups' languages in their banknote, in their signs. So anybody, if you have ever if you've ever been to Xizang, all these lines collapse. And also, when some people in the West is trying to say, oh, they want to go back to the old Tibet. You know what old Tibet looks like? Because Tibet used to be like theocratic feudal society. That means the 5% of the elites, including the people in the monasteries, the aristocratic from the royal families, they control 90% or like even more, 90% of all the resources in Tibet. That includes the wealth, forest, pastures, and they treat everybody else was serfs, and they treat serfs even worse than livestock. They even you make small mistakes, they will cut their limbs, they will gouge their eyes, and they even may turn people's body parts into religious ritual products. For example, they use teenager girls' skin to make a drum for the religious ritual. And there are like drumsticks made with the human's thigh bones. I'm not making this up. All these objects are being exhibited at the museum in Lhasa. There's a museum tell you all the serfdom history and tell you how dark it was in the old Tibet. So that's the tremendous contrast. So why China can achieve such a development in this area? I want to introduce to you 2 main policies. The first one is we have a law about it. It's called Regional Ethnic Autonomy System. That's why at the beginning of our speech, I address Xizang as Xizang Autonomous Region, because Xizang is an autonomous region. In China, regional ethnic autonomy really provides an institutional and a policy guarantees to ensure that ethnic minority citizens enjoy rights to equality and freedom and to economic, social, and cultural services. So now these 2 parts I quoted from our constitution. The People's Republic of China is a unified multi-ethnic country jointly created by all ethnic groups across the country. In areas where ethnic minorities live in concentrated communities, regional autonomy is implemented. This system of regional ethnic autonomy allows areas with large ethnic minority populations to practice religious autonomy, establish autonomous organs, and exercise the power of self-government under the unified leadership of the state. The basic political system is sorry about my pronunciation. It's being listed in China's constitution and also the law on regional ethnic autonomy. So we have constitution and have law to guarantee ethnic minorities to have their autonomy. That means if you go to autonomous regions or autonomous prefectures, people based on their ethnic groups or religions, they can celebrate their own holidays. In Xizang, they have their Tibetan New Year. They can also celebrate Chinese New Year. They have more holidays than us. Same in Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. They celebrate Chinese New Year. They also celebrate the Muslim festivals. They have way more holidays than us. And everywhere, this autonomous region is required that all the public signs are written in both languages, Mandarin Chinese and the language of that ethnic group that's being named at the of the autonomous region. So by 2020, China has 155 ethnic autonomous areas from all levels, from provincial levels to prefecture levels to county levels. So I can take Xinjiang as an example. Xinjiang's full name is Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region, but that doesn't mean Uyghur is the only ethnic group living in that region. So, for example, in Xinjiang, at least there are 13 ethnic groups are native in that region that been living in that region for generations, including Uyghur, Kazakh, Mongolian, Hui, Uzbek, Tajik, Kyrgyz, and Shib. But Uyghurs has the largest population among all minorities. So back then, most people in Xinjiang were ask their opinion. So shall we use the Uyghurs name in our provincial region because they have the largest population among all the ethnic minorities. So that's why it's named Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. But under that autonomous region, there were also autonomous prefecture. They have Mongolian autonomous prefecture inside Xinjiang. They have Hui autonomous prefecture inside Xinjiang. And Xinjiang is the only autonomous region in China that has autonomous areas in all levels, from county, prefecture to villages. So basically, the 55 ethnic minorities in China, 44 of them have their autonomous areas. And that accounts 64% of China's land. The 11 ethnic groups that don't have their autonomous areas, for one reason, they have a really small population. And the second reason is they live separately, just among other ethnic groups, among Han, live everywhere. There's not a concentrated area. That's why these 11 don't have. So basically, this law ensures, guarantees this culture and their customs are being inherited and protected. It's very funny when I go to Xizang, because in the old days, most people were illiterate. Many of the arts and books were lost just because no one could speak that language. Nobody know how to write it down. It was because of the CPC. It was because of the Chinese government that provide these people education and transfer money to help them. Let's repair your monastery with this government funding. Let's help you to go to school and inherit this art. For example, painting. That these arts of Tibetan culture got protected and preserved and digitalized. So this is a reality. The second policy I want to address is the we call large-scale development of the Western region. So in 2000, China officially launched this large-scale development of Western China. That includes the 5 provinces in southwest China: Sichuan, Yunnan, Guizhou, Xizang, and Chongqing. And the 5 provinces in northwest: Shanxi, Gansu, Qinghai, Xinjiang, Ningxia, but also include Inner Mongolia and the Guangxi. So that covers 72% of China's area. And this developing Western China policy, if you see the location, it basically covers all the ethnic minority autonomous areas. It's basically developing the ethnic minority policy. And they have several goals. Let's build infrastructure. Let's protect the ecosystem environment. Let's strengthen the foundation role of agriculture. Let's adjust the industrial structure and also develop tourism of this region. And that started in 2000, right? Now, 25 years later, we see it's very successful in some regions because Chongqing now is the world famous travel destination. Shanxi, also many people want to go to Xi'an, is a world famous travel destination. It's very successful. And to achieve this goal, there are many policies efforts put into this. For example, central government, of course, will increase the financial assistance, direct transfer from central government to improve the investment environment, to continue to open up this area to domestic and also to international market, and also how to bring talents to develop technology and education in this region. But also underneath that, we also have a targeted policy to help 650,000 people that belongs to 22 ethnic minorities. There's targeted policies just to help the 650,000 people belongs to 22 ethnic groups because they have very small population. Of course, this 650,000 compared to all the people in extreme poverty back then wasn't a large number, but those consist 40% of the 56 ethnic groups, so they cannot be left behind. So prioritize some resources to this ethnic groups with even smaller population. And also we have a pairing assistance. This is really, really important. Besides central government, like the direct transfer, financial transfer, departments of all central government, multiple departments, and 17 provinces and cities also sent their resources and people to Xizang for the past few decades to support them. So this is a really collective effort. You go to Xizang, you see some grand infrastructure like hospitals or like railways, like schools. It was built probably with people from Beijing, people from Shanghai, or so this region. It was really, I don't know whether other countries have the same efforts, like different regions, different cities will help another city. But I feel like in China, we have been doing the same for a long time. During COVID, it's the same. All the other provinces send their medics, their resources to Wuhan to help this city to recover. Xizang is the same for the past few decades. 17 provinces and cities send billions, trillions of yuan to develop Xizang. So this is how Xizang achieve such enormous development in the past 60 years. So if anyone interested in poverty alleviation, really encourage you to look into the law of regional ethnic autonomy system and also the development of Western region. So, but to conclude, I think it's really funny, the large scale development of Western region, this policy in Chinese is called 西部大开发. The literal translation is called develop the West. Now we look at the global situation, we think we really need to develop the West. So thank you very much.
I'm Michael Hudson. I'm appearing here for the International Manifesto Group. If you like this video and ones like it, please subscribe. For more information, go to the address on the screen.